Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well and this finds you in good health. My name is Madini Classic and let's talk about what's going on in the country now. Babu Owino had a conversation, a very long one, of course, and a few things that Babu Owino talked about or rather discussed is his relationship with Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga and the Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja. All right, we want to talk about these things. But before we get there, I just want to thank you for being a member of Madini Classic and being a member of our community. I don't take it for granted. We are headed to 60,000 subscribers. I just want to say thank you so much. And I'm always happy whenever we meet here to discuss what is going on in the political scene. Now, Babu Owino Babu Owino just talked about his relationship between Raila Amolo Odinga and Johnson Sakaja. Why Raila? So many people think that Babu Owino was brought up politically and was, in another term, Babu Owino was mentored politically by Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga. And then a few days or rather few months ago ilionekana ni kama Babu hajakuwa in good terms with Raila, especially ukiangalia kwenye mitandao ya kijamii watu wanaongea vitu vingi sana. Kuna watu they are hitting hard on Babu Owino saying that you need to respect Raila. Raila deserves his respect. And I think this happened sometimes last year when Babu posted that he wants to vie for the presidency of this country come 2027. Now, people started thinking that maybe Babu Owino is starting a fight with Raila Amolo Odinga because, you know, people say people don't say, but that's it. That's how things are. Baba is the kingpin of Luo region, right? So people say that in Luo community, lazima upitie kwa mkono wa baba. That is what people say, right? And now when Babu Owino posted a poster and said he wants to vie for presidency come 2027, people talked about so many things. Watu walimsuta, wengine walimtukana, wengine walimwambia bado hajafika. And I think even Baba made a statement that people refer to it as a statement that was sent indirectly to Babu Owino when Baba said it in Luo, and he said that you've not even spent a good time in politics, you've not even sat in the governor's seat, and now you want to vie for presidency. Are you crazy? That is what Baba said. All right, in the way he had put it in Luo sounds a little bit crazy. We can't get the real translation, but that was the context. Now, Babu come clean on his relationship with Raila, being that people have talked, people have said a lot of things here and there, but then Babu said today that he respects Raila so much and he doesn't have no issue with Raila Amolo Odinga, not unless kama Raila akona issues na yeye, right? But deep down he says very well that anampenda Baba kama party leader wake, anampenda Baba kama a very good politician in this country, and it doesn't have any issues with Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, the question that I have here is, do you think that Babu Owino will be elected to any position in this government without Raila Amolo Odinga's blessing? That is something that I know so many people, watu wengi wanajiuliza the very same questions, but we can't get answers because we think that Baba, we don't even think, but it's true. Raila has built so many politicians, all right? Amejenga politicians wengi. He has brought up so many politicians who are successful in different positions in this government, including the likes of, the likes of Joho, we have Sifuna, we have so many people, including Sakaja himself, tuko na watu wengi, including Ruto himself, amekuwa na Baba for the longest time possible. And now the question is, do you think that Babu will be elected in any position in this government without Raila Odinga's blessings, all right? What do you think? For me, I think Babu is one politician who doesn't really require or need Raila Odinga's blessings, being the fact that they have been working together for so long. We've seen Babu supporting Baba in so many situations. Maandamano zote, campaigns of Baba, Babu have been with him. Babu introduced the TB Mtialala thing that the youth were relating with so well, yenye ilifanya the relationship between Baba and the youth ikuwe strengthened more. So I don't really think that Babu needs Raila Odinga's blessings if or anytime anataka kusimama kwa kiti chochote. I don't think so, but in politics, you know, the pattern changes every time. Leo pattern inaweza change, the other day pattern inaweza change. As much as we think that Babu doesn't need Raila's blessings when vying for any seat in this government, but at the same time, I think Baba should just give Babu, you know, his blessings because he deserves it. Let's give credit where it's due. If you go to Babu Owino's constituency, I have been there physically and I know what happens at Embakasi East. Embakasi East, if we talk about infrastructure, I don't really think there is any constituency that has the best infrastructures in this country. Ukienda, if you go to a place like Utawala, if you go to Embakasi huko ndani ndani, you will realize that the roads are constructed so nice. We've seen Babu Owino akipeana basari yeye mwenyewe, like one on one, anakutana na wazazi and anadistribute. He even gives out the checks. Hizo check anapea kwa wazazi, anapeana yeye binafsi. So I think even the guts, where he got the guts to start thinking that he can be the governor of Nairobi, it's because he has seen the kind of job he has done to the people of Embakasi, and he actually thinks that I'm good enough for this. Now, Babu Owino was asked a question that now that kumekuwa na Sonko, kumekuwa na Kidero, and now there is Sakaja, and both of them, watu wamekuwa complain that they have not worked well for the people of Nairobi. Akaulizwa vizuri sana, what do you think, what will you bring on the table? And you can't believe what he answered. He clearly said that my mother never gave birth to a stupid child. So that means Babu Owino knows what he can do for the people of Nairobi, right? Unajua Babu ni mtu amezaliwa Nairobi. So I think study Nairobi in a way that he talked about a few things like vile maji, the amount of liters zenye Nairobi County inageneratiwa per day, and he knows what is happening. That is why unapata Nairobi sehemu zingine bado hakuna maji. So I think Babu in one way or the other ni mtu amemaster politics zake, especially politics ya Nairobi, and being that ni mtu anajua vichochoro vya Nairobi nini, I think he can be a very good leader wa Nairobi County, if I'm not wrong. Now, people say that Babu doesn't need kumsifu Raila. Every time ameulizwa swali kuhusu Raila, he'll be there to praise Raila and to say, oh, Raila is a good person, blah blah, Raila is my father, ni baba, sijui nini. People are now saying that Babu Owino doesn't need kusifu Raila every other time, kila mahali yenye yuko. But let's talk about this. Why do you think we are at a point whereby people start thinking that not necessarily Raila asimame na mtu na mpatie blessings zake? But we know that in this country, Raila ni mtu mwenye amekuwa akisupport wase wengi, amekuwa akisimama na so many politicians. Raila akikushika mkono na akasema tunaenda hapa, it happens. But now I think this question, Babu answered it in a way, and he said that Raila working with Ruto is not a mistake. It's not a bad thing. Now, listen to this carefully. But Raila working with Ruto and Ruto not working for Kenyans, hapo ndo kuna mistake. Hapo ndo kuna problem. Now, Raila working or coming together to work with Ruto, then Ruto anasikiza Wakenya na kufanya kitu Wakenya wanataka, then that is good. There is no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to watch whatever Babu Owino said about Raila and Ruto today. Then we continue from there. Take your time.
So it doesn't mean that if the others have failed before, that I'm going to fail. I wasn't born a failure. My mother did not give birth to a stupid person. The other day you saw our very great governor going to pour his brains at Stima Plaza. There's nothing different about Babu Owino. Babu Owino is a person who was elected to work for his constituents and to work for Kenyans, doing the work of legislation, oversight and representation as a member of parliament. Having a following means that there's enough trust for me that is bestowed by Kenyans, and they've seen that I've delivered the services that I promised my constituents, and having trust day by day knowing that one day I may deliver them from the shackles of oppression and the bondage of poverty. And as Babu Owino, the reason why the youth might feel that they are following me is because of the work that I do at Embakasi's constituency. This didn't start yesterday. It started some years back at the University of Nairobi when I was the president of the University of Nairobi Students Association, SONU. And therefore, the good work that we did made also the great people of Embakasi East to poach us, to ensure that we work for them. And that is why I'm here today. You know, and leadership is about others. The main reason why we are elected as a leader is to work for our people. And even the Bible says that he who wants to be the greatest among you must first agree to be the least among you. A leader must be a servant. Leadership is about servanthood. You must serve your people. You must listen to the challenges that your people are facing. When I come to this office, I come to this office with an intention to serve. I might not provide 100% solution that everybody needs, but that percentage that I shall provide will take them a long way. And I do this because and today if you tell me that you are going without food, I know what it is to go without food. Because at some point in my life, I went without food. If a lady comes here and tells me that her child has been sent away from school, I know what it is to lack school fees. Because at some point in my life, I lacked school fees. And that is the reason why, if I look at you, I remember my mom struggling to raise us up, to raise me up, to look for fees, doing very odd jobs to ensure that we went to school. And if I look at a fellow youth, I see myself in that youth. I know that that youth, when given an opportunity, can even be better than Babu Owino. And that is why I take my time respectfully to serve my people, because I know that this work comes from God. Save for Mike Sonko, that I say that had challenges from the time that he was elected, that he didn't get an opportunity to serve his people. For him, I will not talk about him. The other culprits, these are people who are given opportunity to serve people, but clearly they did not. Nairobi County has a budget that should be followed. The main challenges facing Nairobians are, number one, poor road network, together with the drainage system. When it rains in Nairobi only for 30 minutes, then,
chaotic.
then there will be a Lake Nairobi and so many rivers feeding that lake from different highways and different areas. Number two, there is insufficient supply of water in Nairobi. In Nairobi, we are approximately 5 million Nairobians. By the night, by the day, we could be around 8 million Nairobians, because there are people flowing from other parts of this country that in the evening, they leave to those different counties. An average person in Nairobi should consume about 60 liters of water in a day. That is taking shower, drinking, cooking, bathing, washing clothes, averagely 60 liters. Therefore, Nairobians, the amount of water that they use in a day is 300 million liters of water in a day. The good news is that where we get the supply of water in Nairobi is from Ndakaini Dam, Spring Valley Dam. Then there is the Northern Tunnel that was recently constructed. They supply 546 million liters of water in a day. So then the question is, if we only need 300 in a day and we are being supplied with 546 million in a day, therefore, why is it that Nairobians are still not getting sufficient supply of water?
Why do you think that is happening?
The answer is simple. Number one is because of poor governance and leadership. Why am I saying so? Because there are cartels in this Nairobi who block these pipes with an intention to sell water. The leaders that are elected go to bed with these cartels, so that they are also part of that cartelism that is siphoning money from Nairobians. Number two, there are those pipes that were fixed from the early 1960s to date. So those pipes, the infrastructure that was set up for water, they get corroded, they have leakages, so the water is also lost through leakages. Then there's a mixture of the sewer, right? Water is mixed with the sewer and then gets contaminated, so those goes to wastage. Sewerage and sanitation, the cleanliness, the garbage. The other day you saw our very great governor, going to pour his brains at Stima Plaza. What is that? This is a cosmopolitan city. This is the hub for business for the East African community. If a tourist goes there at Ambassador now, you will be surprised what the clock is saying. The clock is reading midnight. A tourist going there now, which means even pesa ya battery imepotea. So if we can't even manage a clock and to know the time in Nairobi, then what can we manage as Nairobians? But this generally shows you that these leaders lack organization skills. Number two, they lack the passion and the energy to work for the people.
Yeah.
Number three, they intentionally want to punish Nairobians. Because there's a budget that is fixed for Nairobi. Right now, we have a budget of 42 billion to provide services for Nairobians. But what is happening? Doctors are now not being paid in Nairobi. The medical sector, number four, challenge. Why can't we employ sufficient enough medics in terms of nurses, doctors, and the support staff so that we can get proper medical services in Nairobi and pay them well? The medical equipment, the drugs. So when we talk about the challenges that are facing Nairobians, also unemployment, how are you solving the issue of unemployment?
Yeah.
We have garbage here in Nairobi. This garbage can be converted into energy. How do we do that? By construction of a factory that will burn all that garbage and boil the water to produce steam. That steam will turn the turbines to produce energy. There'll even be competition that will provide to Kenya Power, and they lower their rates. The moment they lower their rates, there will be high demand for electricity. The moment they raise their rates, there will be low demand for electricity. The moment they lower their rates and there's high demands, even the government collects more revenue. And even in Nairobi, we are planning to make it a 24-hour economy. I want to be a different type of a leader. And a leader that is going to ensure that services are rendered to Nairobians. That is what I want to be. So it doesn't mean that if the others have failed before, that I'm going to fail. I wasn't born a failure. My mother did not give birth to a stupid person. She gave birth to a person who is competent. And I was competent from birth to now. My relationship with Baba is extremely okay. Of course, that is Baba. Baba is my political leader. And Baba, even in a family, there could be issues here and there, but you don't allow it to go under your skin. Those are normal things, even in a family. So in a political setup, I know that Baba is my political father. So I have no problem with him. And I believe that he has no problem with me because I'm his son. My people are supreme. They come first. Sometimes, even in a family, you might not agree 100%.
True.
There are some ideological differences that we have. Baba joining Ruto is not a bad thing. But Baba joining Ruto and Ruto not working to Kenyans is not a good thing. Right? So if Baba is joining Ruto and Ruto is working for Kenyans, then we don't have a problem. We just want to see the cost of living coming down, over taxation going down. Okay? We just want to see our youth, young men and women getting jobs. We just want to see services being rendered. We want to see SHA working.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you have heard Babu Owino talking about this government, talking about ambitions zake for 2027, vying to become the governor of this of Nairobi. Let me ask you a question. What's the possibility? What do you think that Babu Owino atapata ugavana hivyo kirahisi, or he has to fight for it? Do you think kuna nafasi for Babu Owino to become the Nairobi governor comes 2027? Do you think Baba will support Babu akisimama for governorship in Nairobi? Do you think that people will vote for Babu Owino come 2027 kama governor wa Nairobi? Do you think Babu Owino has muscles to campaign, not really to campaign? Do you think Babu Owino akona muscles enough ya kusimama kama governor wa Nairobi County? All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we want to know. And we have the comment section here to share our mind, share our thinking on this specific issue. Thank you very much for being a member of Madini Classic community. I don't take it for granted. That was my time. See you next time, ladies and gentlemen. Bye.